Welcome to Justice for New York. I'm your host, Charles Collins. All documentation concerning Justice for New York videos can be found at justicefornewyork.com. The right to free speech. I wrote a letter, but I'm going to give a little background first. People versus Dietz. New York Court of Speech is often abusive, even vulgar, derisive, and provocative, and yet is still protected under the state and federal constitutional guarantees of free expression unless it is much more than that. These are U.S. Supreme Court. This one's a U.S. Supreme Court ruling. Casual conversation may well be abusive and intended to annoy. So too may be lighthearted banter or the earnest expression of personal opinion or emotion. But unless the speech presents a clear and present danger of some serious substantive evil, it may neither be forbidden nor penalized. You have the right to express your opinion. The Supreme Court has oft reaffirmed the power of states to prohibit public speech which creates an imminent danger of violence. In other words, it has to be imminent. You can't go up to a building and say you're going to throw a bomb in it or have a thing through gasoline ready to throw at the building and light it, but it's already lit. That's not free speech. But anything you can say, like I'm going to get you someday. The Court of Appeals, if you read, there was another case held that that's free speech because it's not imminent danger. Now we're going to talk about free speech. I've already started a little bit on it, but this is what happens. I go to jail, or I didn't go to jail. Well, I did. They held me till I got arraigned and everything for writing a letter, which the judge overturned. Now, this was a conversation. Now, let me give you the background. My ex-wife was in Florida. Her brother, older brother, wrapped his motorcycle around a tree, and he didn't survive. But at the time, he was still in the hospital. She has another child by somebody else, who I'm good friends with, by the way, and I get along fine with her other daughter. What happened was, the child did not want to go to her aunt's house. She wanted to stay with her father. The mother did not want that to happen. So this is what happened during the conversation. He called her up and said, "You're in Florida," and had her call her back. So he answers the phone. "Carrie, hello." The ex, "I want you to know what you think you're doing. You are picking a effing inopportune while my brother is on his deathbed." "Carrie, do you want to listen to me or not?" The judge said he was not going to recognize first right of refusal. The judge said that when it's my time, I have her. When it's your time, you have her. "Can I tell you something? Are you going to let me talk or not?" Screaming, she goes, "No, you can't, because I have custody AH. We know what that is. She's my effing daughter. She refers to her 8-year-old daughter as her effing daughter. Wonderful mother. "Carrie, Jacqueline does not want to go to Maria's, and believe me, I can fully understand that." Her screaming, "I don't give a S what you say. I just called the camp to take her there." Again, screaming, "I don't care what you say. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you're under a effing court order. Maria is not a custodial parent. Inaudible, with a effing court order. And the cops, if you don't bring her over there right now. Do you got that? Jacqueline does not want to stay overnight there. She told me that. Do you hear me? Hear that? Are you done? I'm telling you right now. Either you bring my daughter, I'm her father. And he goes, you're in Florida. You are on my time. Because she's in Florida, it's her time, but she can't take the child. You are not doing anything. You are on my time. You are infringing on my time with my daughter, and I can do what I want on my time. How is he infringing on her time to be with her daughter when she's in Florida and the daughter's up here in Boston Spa? He's not. Are you in Florida? Oh no. Where are you right now? Where are you right now? F you. Do you hear me? Are you in Florida? I don't care if I'm in my effing backyard. If you had Jacqueline. He offers to bring her home. What do you want her to be with, not her father, when she wants to be with her father? Because it's my time. You effing AH. You better not. Wonderful language. I'm not trying to upset her. Her brother gets on the phone. There's a criminal complaint against both of them. We'll discuss what happened afterward, but I'm just reading. This is in most of this here. Your head is mine, mother F. You get Jacqueline over to Maria's now, effing now. Because I swear to God, I will rip your mother effing head off and they won't find the pieces, dude. He does like the word dude. And you know I'm serious, Carrie. There ain't nobody going to be able to stop me, dude. You better reconsider your effing position. The brother again. The next comment out of the brother. You ain't going to tell me an effing thing. That's fine. Chris, you better hear what I'm saying, because you know I don't get upset for shh. I realize that. Then you better get your effing head out of your posterior. A. Dude. The ex screaming in the background. Effing S. Oh. Do you hear me, Chris? I can't stand that bastard. I want that guy. I want you to do something with him. I understand, the brother says. This is the last thing that she needs. And I'll tell you what, man. If my sister flips out because of you, I'll effing kill you. Dude. I will effing kill you. And there ain't no effing court of law. And my mother can go to effing hell. Dude. Keep forgetting to put that dude on there that's there. So you better get your head out of your effing butt. Dude. But he didn't use butt. I'm being polite. Because I know effing limit, dude. And you know me. So you better get your effing head out of your A. And you better drop Jacqueline off at Maria's. Because as soon as I get done taking business here, dude, you better hide your mother effing butt. And that's all I'm going to say, Carrie. That's all I'm going to say. Mother effing. You better get your head out of your mother effing dude. Because I really rectified the situation. And there's no goddamn court of law that's going to keep your ass safe. Inaudible. And my mother, my effing mother, I don't know why he's saying such mean things about his mother. Chris, mother, again. It goes, oh shit, where is it? There wrote three other things. And then he ends it with, I'll hunt you down, mother F. Get that? That's how the conversation started. Now, they charged both of her. He filed a complaint. Oh, he did I told him, record conversations. It's completely legal. In New York State, both parties, only one party needs to know that the conversation is being recorded. Both do not, just one person. He is on the line. He knows it's being recorded. It is legal in New York State. He's not doing anything illegal. Charging them with aggravated harassment in the second degree. Aggravated harassment in the second degree, when with the intent to harass, annoy, threaten, or alarm another person, he or she communicates or causes a communication to be initiated by mechanical or electronic means. Likely to cause, to wit, and this is what was stated, that on the above date and time at my residence in Mohawk Terrace in the town of Clifton Park, I received a phone call from my ex-girlfriend, Arlene, to whom I have a child in common with, and her brother Christopher, in which threats were made to my life. Included in the conversation is Arlene stating to her brother, I can't stand that bastard. I want that guy. I want you to do something with him. Christopher states, I will fucking kill you, dude. I will fucking kill you, and there ain't no fucking court of law, because I swear to God, I will rip your fucking head off, and they won't find the pieces, dude. And you know I'm serious, Carrie. He tapped the phone. There was even more in there than this. Now, if that had been a father saying that, they would have arrested him on the spot, taken him to jail, issued an order of protection, and everything else under the sun. When she came back, she was allowed to go home, from what I was told. Police went to her house. They didn't arrest her. They said, come down to the police department so we can give you the state police, I think it was, come down there and we'll give you the ticket and everything. The brother, I guess, flew up. They met him at the airport, told him to go back to Florida. That's what I was told. Don't know if that was true or not, but he wasn't. No charges filed against him. They didn't want to pursue it. If that had been a father, he would have been crucified. What they did is they held a couple of court appearances where he went, and they postponed it and postponed it. Finally, they didn't tell him about the fourth appearance. Guess what happened? All the charges miraculously disappeared. Well, if you look at the statute, it says imminent threats. His threats weren't imminent because he was in Florida and he's up here. So, technically it was the right decision. But they don't do that with fathers. Give you an example. I had a father in Schenectady. I gave him the case law, this one and another one, stating he had been accused with calling his ex-wife a whore, a slut, and all this other stuff, and using nasty language and everything. No physical violence involved, nothing else. So I gave him the case law, People versus C, and the other one is People versus Hogan. And it's got to be imminent danger. What do you think happened? The attorney said two things to him. The first one was, where did you get this information? He wasn't happy about it. What difference does it make where he got it? It's an argument where they couldn't keep pursuing this thing against them. What they wanted was an order of protection. The second thing he said was, I'm not arguing this. What do you mean he's not arguing it? That's called competent assistance of counsel in New York State. The attorneys won't argue it. They don't know about it. Of course they know about it. They just don't know about it in your case. This is what they do. Cover up, cover up, cover up. They get an order of protection. As soon as they have that, she makes another complaint. He's done. The family court hands out orders of protections against fathers like water. The other problem you have is when the fathers call the police on the mothers, the police show up at the house. They interview both parties. Now, if it's the father causing trouble, they have no problems arresting him and taking him down to the station. But what happens is, in a lot of instances, they tell the father, if we arrest her, we also have to arrest you. Why? So he doesn't want to get arrested. So the mother doesn't get arrested no matter what she does. This is how the court system, especially the family court, operates. It's got to stop. The police, I don't care which one's causing the trouble. Whichever one it is, they either need to be spoken to, or if they're causing real trouble, taken away. And another little thing they like to do, the mothers file these claiming all types of stuff. 5 o'clock in the morning, she sneaks out of bed, goes downstairs, opens the door, 2 sheriffs come up, wake them up, let's go, we're going to jail. So he can't go to work in the morning or anything. He didn't even know what happened. But they come in, take him away because she's made some allegation. And most of the times it can't be proven, but again, they stall things out until the father agrees. And the attorney you have, whether he's paid or not, talks you into agreeing to the order of protection because you don't want to go to trial because you may lose, even though there's no proof against you. You know, this type of stuff has got to end. That's why public trials need to be public. These family court proceedings are a disgrace, and all they are is an instrument to destroy fathers. And one more thing. What happens if somebody, we're talking about free speech, comes up to you and says, keep your mouth shut or else? Is that a threat? Probably you would take it as that, but legally as a threat, no, it's free speech. Now, let's say 2 people come up to you, but these 2 people also happen to be government agents. And one of them tells you, keep your mouth shut or else. And then before that, they tell you, we don't care about your problems. My problems were, I'm being denied my right to a public trial, my right to a jury trial, my right to a court of proper jurisdiction, and that half the statutes I've already discussed don't comply with the law, and everybody's refusing to address them. People are being illegally imprisoned in this state. They don't care about my problems. They don't care about anybody else's problem. They tell me to keep my mouth shut or else. Is that free speech? Then, let's add one more element to it. These 2 government agents have concealed weapons. Am I in imminent danger? I don't know. They're government agents. Who knows what the government is going to do? We know the New York State government strips everybody of their constitutional rights. Judge K. The right to a public trial, right to a jury trial, right to a court of proper jurisdiction are not substantial rights in this state. And they're not going to enforce your rights. And here we have U.S. government agents telling me to keep my mouth shut or else. Isn't that also a violation of my constitutional right to free speech? Now, I know the agents were sent there deliberately to tell me that. And the reason being is, when I got off the plane, they knew who I was. They came up to me, even though I was filing under a different name. Because my stepfather had a free ticket, and this is back in the 1990s, when you didn't have to go through the security checks and show ID and everything. They want to talk to me, and they claim I'm threatening people after the charges were already dismissed a month earlier or a few weeks earlier. And I ask them what charges or what they're talking about. I'm not allowed to know. They can't give me that information. But they can tell me to keep my mouth shut. And when I kept it up, he finally handed his card to me. Michael Clancy hands me his card and says, if you have a problem, file a complaint. Well, I knew that wasn't going anywhere. You know, they're just going to cover up for each other. I'd like to know who ordered them to come see me and threaten me. Oh, that's right, it's called free speech because there wasn't imminent danger. But then again, is there imminent danger when the person or persons that are threatening you are government officials who are supposed to be protecting your rights, but instead are threatening you and they carry guns? They could have gotten into the airport very easily. All they got to do is show we're from the FBI. Think about it. Here they are, the FBI is threatening someone to keep their mouth shut about corruption. They don't care. It's like, as I stated earlier in one of my other tapes, there was a sign down on 787. If you know of government corruption, call us. They aren't interested in the government corruption. They're interested in knowing who knows about the government corruption so they can go and threaten that person to keep their mouth shut. This has to change.